Redmond is an affluent, suburb city in King County, Washington, United States, located 16 miles east of Seattle, within the Seattle metropolitan area. The population was 54,144 at the 2010 census, up from 45,256 in 2000 census. Redmond is commonly recognized as the home of both Microsoft and Nintendo of America. With an annual bike race on city streets and the state's only velodrome, Redmond is also known as the bicycle capital of the Northwest. History: Native Americans have lived in the Redmond area for at least 10,000 years, based on artifacts discovered at the Redmond Town Center archaeological site and Merrimore prehistoric Indian site. The first European settlers arrived in the 1870s. Luke Makridman filed a Homestead Act claim for land next to the Sammamish Slough on September 9, 1870, and the following year Warren Perigo took up land adjacent to him. The rivers and streams had so many salmon that the settlement was initially named Salmonburg. More settlers came, and with the establishment of the first post office in 1881, the name of the community was changed to Melrose. The new name was taken from the Perigo's successful inn, Melrose House, which upset Makridman. After becoming postmaster, he successfully petitioned to have the name changed to Redmond in 1883. The abundant forests and fish of Redmond provided jobs for loggers and fishermen, and with those jobs came demand for goods and services, bringing in merchants. The logging industry expanded significantly in 1889 when Seattle Lakeshore and Eastern Railway built a station in the center of town. The first plat for Redmond was filed on May 11, 1891, encompassing much of the area now known as downtown. After reaching the necessary population of 300, Redmond was incorporated on December 31, 1912. Redmond faced an economic downturn in the 1920s. Prohibition forced saloons to close, cutting off a large portion of the city's tax base. The forests were dwindling after heavy logging, causing lumber mills to shut down. Fortunately, the deforested land was suitable for farming. Agriculture became Redmond's primary business, keeping residents fed during the Great Depression. When the U.S. entered World War II, shipyard jobs and other wartime work came to Redmond. After the war, Redmond's growth began in earnest. The city grew over 30 times larger in area through annexations between 1951 and 1967. The completion of the Evergreen Point floating bridge across Lake Washington in 1963 allowed Redmond to flourish as a suburb of Seattle. In 1978, the U.S. Census Bureau proclaimed Redmond the fastest-growing city in the state. Many technology companies made the city their home, and the increasing population demanded more retail shops. Redmond underwent a commercial boom during the 1990s, culminating in 1997 with the opening of Redmond Town Center, a major regional shopping center on the site of a long-defunct golf course. In recent years the city has been experiencing growing pains as a result of its strong growth, mostly in the areas of urban sprawl and traffic congestion. During rush hour it can take upwards of 2 hours to travel from the beginning of SR 520 at Avondale Road to downtown Seattle, a mere 18 miles away. These problems are being mitigated by the expansion of SR 520 and the Evergreen Point floating bridge, as well as the planned light rail service via Eastlink from Seattle to Redmond during the second phase of Sound Transit. Geography: Redmond is bordered by Kirkland to the west, Bellevue to the southwest, and Sammamish to the southeast. Unincorporated King County lies to the north and east. The city's downtown lies just north of Lake Sammamish. Residential areas lie north and west of the lake. The Sammamish River runs north from the lake along the west edge of the city's downtown. Redmond is located at 47°40 euro squared 10 euro cubed N 122°07 euro squared 26 euro cubed W. According to the United States Census Bureau, the city has a total area of 16.94 square miles, of which 16.28 square miles is land and 0.66 square miles is water. Equals surrounding cities, lake and unincorporated areas equals. Equals climate equals, the average warmest month is August. The highest recorded temperature was 103 Fahrenheit in 2009. On average, the coolest month is January. The lowest recorded temperature was 14 Fahrenheit in 1990. The maximum average precipitation occurs in December. Demographics: according to a 2012 estimate, the median income for a household in the city was $96,088, and the median income for a family was $116,774. The per capita income for the city was $48,326. 2010 census equals, as of the census of 2010, there were 54,144 people, 22,550 households, and 13,890 families residing in the city. The population density was 3,325.8 inhabitants per square mile. There were 24,177 housing units at an average density of 1,485.1 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 65.2% white, 1.7% African American, 0.4% Native American, 25.4% Asian, 0.2% Pacific Islander, 3.2% from other races, and 4.0% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 7.8% of the population. There were 22,550 households, of which 32.4% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 51.4% were married couples living together, 6.9% had a female householder with no husband present, 3.3% had a male householder with no wife present, and 38.4% were non-families. 29.6% of all households were made up of individuals and 7% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.39 and the average family size was 2.98. The median age in the city was 34.1 years. 22.7% of residents were under the age of 18. 7.5% were between the ages of 18 and 24. 38.7% were from 25 to 44. 21.6% were from 45 to 64. And 9.5% were 65 years of age or older. The gender makeup of the city was 50.9% male and 49.1% female. 2000 census equals, as of the census of 2000, there were 45,256 people, 19,102 households, and 11,346 families residing in the city. The population density was 2,848.8 people per square mile. There were 20,248 housing units at an average density of 1,274.6 per square mile. The racial makeup of the city was 79.26% white, 13.02% Asian, 1.52% African American, 0.45% Native American, 0.18% Pacific Islander, 2.46% from other races, and 3.11% from two or more races. Hispanic or Latino of any race were 5.61% of the population. There were 19,102 households, out of which 28.5% had children under the age of 18 living with them, 48.9% were married couples living together, 7.6% had a female householder with no husband present, and 40.6% were non-families. 30.4% of all households were made up of individuals and 6.1% had someone living alone who was 65 years of age or older. The average household size was 2.33 and the average family size was 2.95. In the city, the population was spread out, with 21.5% under the age of 18, 9.5% from 18 to 24, 37.9% from 25 to 44, 21.9% from 45 to 64 and 9.3% who were 65 years of age or older. The median age was 34 years. For every 100 females there were 100.4 males. For every 100 females age 18 and over, there were 99.5 males. The median income for a household in the city was $66,735, and the median income for a family was $78,430. Males had a median income of $58,112 versus $37,200 for females. The per capita income for the city was $36,233. About 3.3% of families and 5.3% of the population were below the poverty line, including 6.3% of those under age 18 and 6.5% of those age 65 or over. Economy. Several companies in the high-tech industry are based in Redmond. The largest employer in the city by far is Microsoft Corporation, which moved its headquarters to Redmond in 1986. Microsoft has over 40,000 Blue Badge FTEs, 45,000 Orange Badge contractors, and more than 8 million square feet of office space in the Seattle area East region, primarily in Redmond, with additional offices in Bellevue and Issaquah. Further signs of growth include, in January 2006, Microsoft announced the purchase of Sufeco's Redmond campus. Other companies with headquarters in Redmond include Nintendo of America, Genie Industries, Physio Control, Univar, Visible.net, Wild Tangent, Solstice and Data.io. In January 2015, SpaceX announced it was opening a facility in Redmond. Its focus will be R&D and manufacturing for a proposed Internet communications satellite constellation. Unlike Bellevue and other neighboring cities, the city of Redmond does not have a business and occupation tax on income. However, to help offset the costs of road improvements for businesses, a business license fee of $55 per employee was approved in 1996. As of 2014, the fee is $92 per employee. Top employers according to Redmond's 2013 Comprehensive Annual Financial Report, the top employers in the city are: Culture. Redmond Derby Days is an annual community festival held the second full weekend of July and celebrated its 75th anniversary in 2015. It began as a race around Lake Sammamish called the Redmond Bicycle Derby in 1939, and since then has become a multi-day event including a bicycle criterium, parade, entertainment stages, beer garden, local food offerings and activities. It also includes a carnival with rides and attractions and a fireworks display at dusk on Saturday. Performing arts in Redmond include the East Symphony and the Second Story Repertory Theatre Company, as well as artists who play at the Redmond Performing Arts Center. Redmond has a collection of outdoor sculptures throughout our streets and parks, many of which are part of a rotating sculpture exhibition. Redmond Lights is an annual community festival held the first Saturday of December. It features a special guest each year, a tree lighting conducted by the mayor on City Hall campus, a luminary walk on the Sammamish Trail and Redmond Central Connector with musical and light stations along the way to Redmond Town Center where there are many special attractions such as a carousel, skating rink and food sampling. The Old Redmond Firehouse is a center for local teens. It has become a hub in the thriving East independent music scene. Local bands perform here with concert-style speakers. The Concerts at Marymoor is an annual summer series of concerts held at the amphitheater in Marymoor Park. The venue has been host to artists as diverse as Norah Jones, Peter, Paul and Mary, Rob Thomas and Duran Duran. When visiting the Seattle area, Cirque du Soleil has set up in Marymoor since the 2004 tour of Varicot when a concrete base was built for them to set up on. Since then, tours of Corteo, Cusa, Amalana and Curios have played in this spot. Other notable events include the Warped Tour and Cavalia in 2012. Redmond's Saturday Market is the oldest farmers market in the Seattle area's east side. This market is held on Saturdays from May through October on approximately 8,000 square feet of land near the Redmond Town Center. The city of Redmond has approved an ordinance that the current market site be preserved for its community and historic significance. Landmarks Redmond has designated the following landmarks. Parks and recreation. According to the city's website, Redmond has 23 developed public parks, totaling over 1,000 acres. Many of these are neighborhood parks with picnic tables and sports fields or courts. The largest park within the city is not owned by the city. It is King County's 560 acres Marymoor Park, one of the most popular in King County. It features a climbing rock, a model airplane flying field, a 48-acre off-leash dog park, an outdoor theater, sports fields such as baseball and soccer, a playground, tennis courts, a community garden, cricket pitch, and a velodrome, which hosts the FSA Starcross de Redmond cyclo-cross competition in September. The city offers over 17 miles of developed trails for hiking, bicycling, and horseback riding. The Sammamish River Trail connects to the Puget Power Trail, the Burke-Gilman Trail, and the East Lake Sammamish Trail. 60 Acres Park is known for its soccer in the spring through fall and RC electric airplanes and gliders in the wintertime. In 2004, Redmond North Little League won the Northwest region and participated in the Little League World Series in South Williamsport, PA. With Redmond North claiming the Northwest, it is the third team from Washington to claim the Northwest since its inception in 2001. Previous Washington champions were Bainbridge Island, Rickland. Government: Redmond has a non-partisan mayor-council form of government, with the mayor and 7 council members elected at large for staggered 4-year terms. The city council authorized a ballot measure in March 2003 that would have changed Redmond to a council-manager government. However, it was rejected by the electorate, receiving less than 30% of the vote. Education: Redmond is part of the Lake Washington School District, which also encompasses Kirkland and parts of Sammamish and Woodinville. The public schools in Redmond include 10 elementary schools, 3 middle schools, and 2 high schools. 3 private schools offer secondary education, the Overlake School, the Bear Creek School, and the Conservatory High School. The English Hill neighborhood in North Redmond is served by the North Shore School District and Sunrise Elementary. The far east side of Redmond is known as Redmond Ridge. Redmond Ridge and Redmond Ridge East communities are part of the Lake Washington School District. East of 248th to West Snoqualmie Valley Road is served by the Riverview School District. G. Penn Institute of Technology and the secondary campus of Lake Washington Technical College are located in Redmond. The city is home to Redmond Regional Library, the second largest library in the King County Library System. Notable people: John Archer, actor; Dennis Bounds, news anchor for King 5, Karan Brar, Fakira Gupta in Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Roderick Rules and Ravi Ross and Jesse, Carrie Brownstein, guitarist and vocalist for Sleater-Kinney, Dudley C. Carter, artist and woodcarver, Jeff Cirillo, former third baseman for several Major League Baseball teams. Daniel Dosu, concept artist and video game art director, James Doohan, actor, famous for playing Scotty in the television series Star Trek. Nick Downing, retired professional soccer player, Sandra Ayesert, art director, photographer, Janin Hall-Gailey, poet, writer, poet laureate of Redmond 2012 Euro 2013, Henry Hill, former mobster, lived in Redmond in the late 1980s. Blake Lewis, runner-up on the 6th season of American Idol and music producer-performer, Shannon O'Donnell, former NBC 11/Bay Area now KOMO4 weather anchor. Later became well-known weather anchor for NBC's Early Today, Lu Shenyan, founder of the True Buddha School, Adora Svitak, author, Steve Wiebe, 2-time Donkey Kong world record holder, and was featured in The King of Kong, A Fistful of Quarters. References. Further reading: Maloney, Georgianne. Redmond. Chicago, Arcadia Publishing. ISBN 0-7385-2071-3. Way, Nancy. Our Town Redmond. Redmond, Washington, Marymoor Museum. ISBN 0-9624587-2-4. External links: City of Redmond, Experience Redmond, Marymoor Velodrome, Redmond a Euro thumbnail history, Redmond Historical Society, Redmond events calendar.